Well, let's give him a hand.
Oh,
Everybody, Jason Sheehan.
All right, I am, even before I knew it was only going to be 8 people showing up, I was going to keep this short and sweet so we could get back to the important business of drinking. But what I wanted to say was I have no wisdom to offer to a room full of journalists because I'm not a journalist. I was never actually trained to be a journalist. I never had any aspirations of being a journalist. I certainly have no advice to offer to writers because I just sort of fell into the gig. The only thing that I might know a tiny little bit about more than the people who are already in the room is book publishing. So I'm going to talk about book publishing, and then whatever the hell else you guys want to talk about. I'll take questions. I could take 1 from each of you. I'll take 2 from each of you. When I'm feeling bad specifically about food, when I'm sick of food, when I can't literally stomach the idea of another sit-down white tablecloth, you know, put on the fancy dress shirt meal, sandwiches. Sandwiches are mankind's single greatest invention. Better than the automobile, better than nuclear power, better than the space program, sandwiches. A sandwich is the perfect work of art. You can take any great thing in the food world, any great single ingredient, whatever it is. Spaghetti makes a great sandwich. Barbecue makes a great sandwich. Cheeseburgers make a great sandwich. Pork makes a great sandwich. You can make a sandwich out of foie gras. Foie gras makes a great spread. You can take any great fucking food, put it between 2 pieces of bread, and it's a sandwich. That's brilliant. That is genius. So it makes me feel better about cuisine as a whole when I eat sandwiches, because this is proof that there is, I mean, to me, this is proof that there is some sort of like higher organizing power out there somewhere, and that it sometimes speaks to chefs and occasionally tells them to make sandwiches. My record, 0.00 for pitches. I have never sold a motherfucking thing that I have pitched to anybody. And I've pitched some really, really, really low rent joints. On the other hand, my record for waiting for people to come to me and asking if I've got an idea, I'm batting 1,000. I have, shit, I'm down to 7 now. Speaking of me being a bad human being, God, I can't even keep somebody around for 5 minutes. Nobody outside the food world believes that this stuff is actually real. Nobody thinks that anybody really does this stuff, that anybody eats this stuff. They go to the Palm. They eat steaks, baked potatoes, and salads, like a normal human being.
Is this the first flash cooking?
Molecular gastronomy is the guys who are using, essentially, better living through chemistry. They're using liquid nitrogen and all sorts of food chemicals. What's that?
The guy who blew his hands off.
The German chef who just blew his hands off trying to cook with liquid nitrogen.
Right there. The chef blew his hands off.
The chef blew his hands off, and this shit makes the front page of like every website out there. You know, chef blows hands off. But the thing is, the market it keeps making, like, there keeps being stories about it. The stuff really is real. People are doing this stuff. It's just, if you're not in my world, if you're not in with the food stuff and the chefs, if it's not something that interests you, it feels like gimmick. So I understand why everybody has said no. It feels like it feels like a fad, even though it's been around for 10 years already. It feels like it's going nowhere, even though it's in virtually every kitchen you're eating. People are using these techniques already. But if you're not in that world, you don't notice it, and you find it very difficult to justify, you know, spending thousands of dollars on a book for something that you don't believe actually exists. My emergency fallback plan for essentially every moment in my life is go eat barbecue. So there we go. I got nothing to do, but I'm going to go hit a barbecue place. So I hit the barbecue place, I hit them on, and by the weekend I knew I was fucked up. So like hit them on a Sunday night, hit them on a Monday afternoon. Like good, I got enough to do. I've eaten 3/4 of this menu. I'm ready to go. Got enough I got all the food done, got the research done. I still got no hook. I got nothing. There's nothing particularly. It's a good barbecue place. It's Big Papa's. They do solid baby backs. They do really good ribs. They do good sides. It's a solidly good barbecue place with a decent history and an interesting guy. But my thing with my reviews, with my columns, is there's always some kind of hook to it. There's always some personal thing or something going on in the world that this is why I'm writing about this place now at this moment. And I had nothing. And the great thing about Denver is that that's a really rare thing to happen to me. I almost always have something, and I don't really have to go looking for it. The something just happens. But I had nothing for this, and on a Monday afternoon, I'm hitting my last meal, I finish up the office, I'm running out, and I go and I pick up the barbecue. I'm like, shit, I got nothing. I'm driving back towards the house, and this, I believe, comes up on the radio, and I'm like, that's easy. I'm gonna steal their idea. That's the best idea. I just steal everything from now on. I'm going to use this I believe as a hook for writing about barbecue. So I believe in barbecue. When I'm pissed off, I eat junk food. I self-medicate with junk food continuously. The candy drawer at my house is a terror to behold, filled with like bizarre Japanese and Chinese candies, and like seriously, I have a half-eaten cherry fruit pie in there that's been in there for like 3 months, and it's open and it's half-eaten, and I leave it there because it hasn't changed form at all in the 3 months that it's been just sitting in that drawer.
Was it an angry moment you were eating?
It was absolutely an angry moment. It was an angry fruit pie. And like all that junk food, potato chips and candy and like all this shit. If I'm pissed off, this is what I'm eating. I surround myself with junk food because it almost feels like it's like this is my comfort food because it is so not anything that anybody will ever ask me to write a single word about. That's my comfort now. Lay's potato chips, Mountain Dew, Code Red, and a tube of Slim Jims. Because no one is going to ask me what I think about the tube of Slim Jims. I can just sit there in my underpants, watching Adult Swim, and eating 20 Slim Jims and feeling bad about myself. That's my comfort now. And yeah, I sell with cheeseburgers. Because, I mean, what more archetypal American celebration food is there than the cheeseburger? And because, again, as I said in the beginning, completely antisocial, socially retarded guy living in a hole in a cave somewhere, I don't go to a lot of happy day family barbecue stuff. I don't do that shit where you would cook hamburgers and cheeseburgers and stuff and be out with normal people and playing and fireworks and whatnot. No, I'm sitting in my little cave writing about food. So cheeseburgers, that's what I'm going to celebrate because it feels like such an archetypal thing to celebrate with. I went out and I got cheeseburgers because cheeseburgers make everybody happy. Cheeseburgers and cheese steaks also. Maybe just cheese. Maybe that's the sense. It actually has nothing to do with the food item. From now on, I'm just going to eat a pound clock of cheese whenever I'm happy. That's what I'm going to do. I think that's what it comes down to. It's just cheese. If I have a week where I've gotten just nothing has happened for the week, and I'm worried about other shit, and I'm trying to fill the blog as well, and I've got the Twitter thing to worry about, and I'm doing stuff for the book, and I'm burnt. And then Thursday comes around, and I go to the diner, and I get my tea, because I'm a giant pussy and I can't drink coffee anymore, so I drink my tea. And I sit there, and I lay out all my shit, and I turn on my laptop, and I open up my mail, and I realize I've got nothing. That's a terrifying moment, and I react badly to that. I get angry at the job. I get angry at I get angry at my boss, I get angry at everybody involved, because how dare you make me try to come up with some crap to say when I've got nothing to say. Oh, what's that? The Taco Bell dog died 5,000. That's how it goes.
Right.